Pokemon! It's Charmander! Char!
Hello and welcome to the second episode of a brand new series, Reading Thainbow, where I take a look in the books I created based on my favorite video games when I was a young, impressionable child. This time, it's nothing but Pokemon, as I narrate what are apparently alternate scripts for certain Indigo League and the Johto Journeys episodes. Let's first talk about the latter, a Generation 2 story, uniquely titled Pokemon, with an exclamation mark. I wasn't entirely comfortable with charging a whole Abraham Lincoln, so I generously knocked the price down to a much more agreeable $4.62. I'd say that's worth it for these stickers alone. Like plenty of other kids, I was a big fan of rainbows, so I drew a giant one on the front cover, and made each letter of the Pokemon logo a different color, presumably to help boost sales. You know, the classic red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and pink. Roy G. BVP. And don't worry, I know better. I cleared this alteration in advance with Nintendo and the Pokemon Company's legal teams. You can also tell I originally had plans for a different cover design, as markings I didn't do a very good job of erasing are still visible under the rainbow. How hard did I press with that pencil? It left an impression on the next page, which makes it look like a cool carving in the tree. This art direction reminds me of something I used to do all the time as a kid, by the way. I remember hating the tedium of coloring in backgrounds, so I would often take a shortcut by simply filling in a bit of the sky and ground. You may say it's lazy, but I call it workplace efficiency. I had better things to do, okay? Like playing and watching more Pokemon, of course. Alright, I'm done judging the book by its cover, so let's open this thing up. One day, Ash, Misty, and Brock were traveling through the forest. They saw lots of Pokemon, but they were all grass type. I already have Bulbasaur, and that's a grass type. Then they saw a Hoothoot, so Ash took out his Dexter. It said, Hoothoot, a flying Pokemon. It can also see in the dark. Well, I might have to capture it. Squirtle, I choose you. But then after Ash called out that Pokemon, Hoothoot dodged and hit Squirtle. Okay, so the accompanying picture is completely unrelated. I don't know why I drew a lava lake with a single rock jutting out of it, surrounded by fire Pokemon and also Oddish. I probably just wanted to use up those stickers. Anyway, Squirtle used Water Attack, and Hoothoot fell to the ground. I caught Hoothoot, said Ash. I spared you the details of Ash actually capturing said fainted Hoothoot in a Pokeball. You're welcome. Huh? Team Rocket? They threw a net. Squirtle was trapped. Then this segment is paired with an entire page dedicated to Elekid alone for some reason, on a single rock sticking out of a regular lake this time. I must say the visuals have been telling a very different story than what was written. Then Ash called Pikachu Thundershock. Boom. Looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again. Ash saved the day. I would argue that Pikachu saved the day, but I'm not the storyteller here, even though I am. Also, here's a legendary pictured twice without explanation. The end, aka where I put all the extra stickers I didn't know what to do with. Overall, I'd give this adventure a respectable 8 out of 10. Really, I just trimmed the fat of an average episode of the cartoon. Despite the mismatched illustrations, our story has a clear call to action, a challenge that needs confronting, and an appropriate resolution. A full-fledged hero's journey if I ever saw one. I'm also impressed I spelled words like traveling and dodged correctly. I don't know how old I was when this was crafted, but I have to say I think my penmanship back then was embarrassingly neater than the chicken scratch that comes out now when I hurriedly write something as an adult. Next up, I have a couple of smaller companion books to pair with that comparative tome. The first is Pokemon Fun Book, which sadly remains unfinished to this day. The front cover succeeds at being minimalistic and stylish. Honestly, I should have just submitted this as my final for graphic design too. I think this activity book was created well before the previous story though, as it took me a little while to figure out what the first prompt was trying to say. A stark change to the calligraphic beauty I've become accustomed to, but I've decrypted it as what is weak against fire. You can find the answer by completing a short maze. This one, next to a Squirtle sticker. Its text is spelled out in the horrifying combination of blinding yellow on white paper. So maybe it's a good thing I didn't turn this into my college professor after all. The only other activity in this 2-page fun book is a matchup game, where you're supposed to link the Pokemon on the left to their respective type or ability on the right. It's strange though. Water and electric are obvious, but what are the other symbols? These look like poison clouds because of their color, but considering its match, I think they're just supposed to be regular clouds to denote flying. Then there's what I believe to be music notes over here, which would best fit Jigglypuff, but it looks like I only had a Clefable sticker left. The clef in the name is still a music pun, so it works. I definitely knew that in kindergarten. The second spin-off book is called Pokemon, with no exclamation point this time, which is understandable as I only got 2 pages in with this one too. Thankfully though, I made the most of them, with an amazing knockoff Pikachu, Charmander, and Squirtle as the stars of this video's thumbnail. They're all spelled wrong, which is wonderful, as now I can call them original characters. This Charmander, Mandar, is genuinely really cute, but I gave it an honest attempt with that Squirtle. So who would you choose as a starter? Last but not least, I hold in my hands a very early creation of mine, the OG Pokemon book, Thane Battles Pokemon, with a whopping list price of $99.99, to help subliminally make the purchase easier for those who would otherwise refuse to pay a full $100. This character here was a go-to crayon representation of myself for a while. It's a smiling person with a circle for a body, rocking stick arms and legs, wearing shoes and a hat with the letter T on it. I'm not exactly sure who this other trainer on the right side is supposed to be, but they look pretty scary with a jagged scowl like all other antagonists in the Reading Thanebo universe. I do actually pretty vividly remember my father helping me draw the Pokemon in this, from Onix to Starmie to Pikachu. I am glad he helped because this book is a bit more abstract than the rest. From what I can gather, this story starts out in a Pokemon battle arena, with the adversaries Onix using sleep power on Thane's Starmie. Uh-oh, Thane cries out in that signature yellow text. As the announcer utters "good job" to our opponent, Thane then sends out Pikachu, and turns Hot World into Water World, which floods the next page, likely as a callback to the Ash vs. Brock fight in the anime, where Pikachu inadvertently sets off the sprinklers and douses Onix, who is of course weak to water. The non-specific rival trainer shrieks, "Water World, you have strong Pokemon!" And finally, the announcer tells Thane good job instead, as he successfully turns the tide of the battle. I wouldn't call this anything less than a masterpiece, so I would give this final tale a perfect 10 out of 10, justifying that otherwise offensive price point. But what do you think? Which of these 4 classics would you buy at your local bookstore? And what series would you like me to cover next for Reading Thanebo? Obviously there's a finite amount of them to get into, but so far I have found several more books based on Super Mario 64, Sonic Adventure, Crash Bandicoot, and Banjo-Tooie. Please let me know in the comments which one looks the most interesting, and look out for an upcoming community poll you can vote on to help choose the next adventure. See you all then.